A Myanmar military court has sentenced ousted civilian leader Aung San Suu Kyi to a further 7 years in prison. She has been convicted of corruption in what is the last of a string of criminal cases against her. This leaves her with a total jail time of 33 years. Suu Kyi has been under house arrest since a military coup ousted her democratically elected government in 2021. Her supporters say the charges are politically motivated. For more, let's welcome Win Myint, Myanmar team leader for the news agency Reuters. Does this verdict come as a surprise to you?
Hello. Yes. So this verdict doesn't come as a surprise for the media and also for Aung San Suu Kyi supporters, because many people have been referring to the court as like kangaroo court, and then they claim that these verdicts are contradicting with the truth and evidences. So this addition of 7 years, in addition to the 26 years that has already been sentenced, doesn't really surprise to the people.
What's been the response from Suu Kyi and her supporters?
So just like I previously mentioned, like her supporters said that they condemn this kind of arbitrary detentions, and they call for the release of the Aung San Suu Kyi and also other political prisoners. And then they claim that these courts are staged, and then these courts are being held behind closed doors at the room in Naypyidaw prison. And then so they said these are unjust, and they don't accept all these rulings. And Aung San Suu Kyi herself has addressed these charges as absurd.
When one sits on the outside of this, watching what's been going on with Suu Kyi over the years, you have to ask, what is the current situation like in Myanmar today for the political opposition?
So in Myanmar, regarding with the whole revolution, so first of all, UNTA promised to hold an election in this upcoming year, 2023, by August. That's their current timeline. And then many political parties, especially Aung San Suu Kyi's parties, boycotted this election. And I mean, most of the top key politicians were already arrested or imprisoned by the UNTA, so they are not going to participate in this anyhow. And for the rest of the revolution, the fightings are still continuing across the country, in the middle part of the country, or also on the borderline. The revolution has been continuing, and also like in city area like Yangon, Mandalay, flash mobs are happening from time to time, where also continue the arbitrary arrest.
That is Win Myint with Reuters. Many, many thanks. For more, I am joined now by Phil Robertson, Deputy Director, Asia Division, Human Rights Watch in Bangkok, Thailand. Phil, what does this verdict tell us about the military junta's plans for Suu Kyi and other opposition figures?
Well, for Suu Kyi, they're locking the door and throwing away the key. They want to keep her in prison, and I expect we will not see her again. She is considered to be the preeminent political threat to the military coup government. She's someone who has won 2 national elections by landslide, most recently in November 2020, which was the government that was overthrown in this coup. And I think that they are putting her away for good. They are going to lock her away in a prison in Naypyidaw, the remote administrative capital of the country, and keep her away from her supporters and from her lawyers and from others. And, she will become a hostage for democracy in Myanmar.
Have we seen any response from her or her supporters?
Well, she is being kept in incommunicado, and even her lawyers are not allowed to speak to the media or anyone else about her case or face criminal sanction. Her supporters, I think, will be making plans to somehow demonstrate and object to what has happened to her. But of course, they face a violent crackdown if they do so. And so it's quite clear that the military is trying to keep her away from her supporters, to try to keep news about her out of any sort of discussion within the country.
Right now, is there a viable political opposition in Myanmar?
Well, there certainly is. I mean, what's going to happen is that the ongoing efforts by both the non-violent CDM movement and also the People's Defense Forces, which are violently contesting against the military, will continue. They will just continue without her and without the National League for Democracy, her party, which I think is being increasingly sidelined as well. The situation is one where the push and pull, the sort of tug of war between the military and the people will continue. And this is not changed as a result of her arrest, but it will certainly add fuel to the fire of her supporters who are against the military government that, their champion has been put away for 33 years, which at her age, at age 77, is a life sentence.
That is Phil Robertson in Bangkok. And many, many thanks, Phil.